Let us begin. After understanding the philosophical and the psychological determinants of curriculum, today is the sociological determinant. It's closer to us, more easy to relate and associate ourselves. And let's see, we can bring out some discussion. Sociology of education is a discipline in itself, which is a scientific study. It's a very objective scientific study of the society and the phenomena, the interactions which is going in the society. Then there is a sociology of education. You might have heard of. Sociology of education is concerned with the development of individual and society. So that is why it is, since in the field of education we are concerned with the learning, the process of learning and individual development through learning, the sociology of education looks at the development of individual and society. There is such an intricate relationship between these two entities. The development of the society lead to the individual development, and individual development lead to the societal development. So in the process of education, it is, we look at concentrate on individual development, and through the individual development, how the society can be developed and progressed. So hence this, it studies the working of social institutions. We know school is a social institution, family is a social institution, any organization, social organization, it studies the educational institutions within, which is existing within the society, and the social context that is creating for in the classroom or family or the external environment. So it is a study which works with social institution, the customs, the tradition, the rules, codes, and norms of behavior which affects human progress. Focus is the progress of human being and the very natural and normal development of human beings. And there is another branch of sociology, which is educational sociology. There is a slight difference. The educational sociology is a branch which deals with relationship. It's again, sociology and education, but it is an applied field which talks of the principles, the sociological principles. You are aware of equality, equity, social justice. These are the sociological principles, and how through education we can bring about these things which are required for a stable society. We are looking at a stable society through the process of education, that is educational sociology. Sociology of education is through the development of individual, preparing the individual based on the societal changes to develop to the personal growth and development, which automatically contribute to the development of the significant development of others in the surrounding. So this is a question to you: to what extent should curriculum consider the world outside school? One or two can try to answer, and then we'll go to the next question. Okay, let us just think of your own curriculum, teacher education curriculum. We are mainly referring to school curriculum. First, you think of your own curriculum. Are we considering the world outside teacher education institute? You can volunteer to answer because I cannot see the screen. and the names who are there.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell your name and go ahead.
Ma'am, myself Stuti. Ma'am, see, our curriculum has some features that connects it to the outside world, such as the multicultural program. Since we have not visited a single type of school, we have been given to visit many different types of school, different types of culture, and these all we have grasped. These are the practical knowledge which we require for the sustenance. Second, internship is there. After that, community programs are there. So we can say that our curriculum is based on the fact that links to the outside world.
Very good example you have taken from your curriculum. You're very right. That is the reason why we have lots of school field engagement programs. For any professional development, field engagement is an integral part of the curriculum, because it is considering the world outside the school. And for teacher education, our area of work is school, and that is why not just the school, it is the community ultimately. So there is a school exposure program, multicultural engagement is there, where you go to different types of school to understand the process of the schooling and the relationship between the teacher, the students, the parents, the community, and the authorities, the education functionaries. All this you get to learn in the real social context. Now, can you think of the relationship between, or to how the curriculum, school curriculum is considering the world outside school? Volunteer, please.
Good morning, ma'am. Myself, Binayak.
Vinayak, tell Vinayak.
Yes, ma'am. Just like a modern society is demanding like more equipped with the computer and technology, CBSE has decided to incorporate artificial intelligence as its one of curriculum at school level.
Good. School curriculum. This is one example you gave. Very good. How is the world outside school is seen in the curriculum? One is introduction of new knowledge, emergence of new areas. For example, what you are telling is a new knowledge which has emerged, and immediately CBSE has put it in the secondary school as one of, I think it is an optional, or it is integrated into the existing curriculum now. I think it is optional also. Is it? Or it is integrated?
Optional, and in the upcoming year it will be mandatory from class 9. 9 on.
True. One more example we'll take.
Ma'am, maybe the examples we study in political science, like legislature and all other features of the constitution.
Your introduction, please. Your name? Your name and go ahead.
Yes, ma'am, I'm Abhipchita.
Oh.
Ma'am, the subjects in social science, like political science and economics, there are many features where village life is shown, and also in political science, like we study about legislatures and constitution and etc., which absolutely relate to the world outside.
Yes. So it is not very theoretical and language bound where we are simply learning, but we consider the world outside school, not just through the syllabus and textbook, and also our process, our pedagogical processes are also very much linked to the outside world. If we are not doing, if we are just sitting inside the class and talking about what is there in the textbook, it is time we consider the world outside school. You can link to, you can bring back your knowledge of NCF 2005. One of the guiding principle is link. What is that guiding principle? Anybody can say. Link knowledge and learning to the outside world. What we are learning inside the classroom, how are we using it in our context, day-to-day life context? That has to be an inbuilt part of our pedagogy. Then the next question is, how do changes in society affect curriculum? This Vinayak has already given. Something new has come in our society in the form of artificial intelligence, and that has come to the school curriculum. Any other example can you say? Changes happening in society. How is it affecting curriculum? Okay.
Ma'am, myself Stuti, ma'am, there have been many changes as per we see the Indian education history, Indian education system. Earlier, Gurukuls were there. Different ideologies were set behind the Gurukuls, and people were mostly made a perfect individual. The motive was that after that, we progressed towards the commercialization sector, towards the scientific sector, and therefore the curriculum and the syllabus also changed according with that.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. This is, we will see as we go further in the slides. If one more student is interested to say anything for this, you're welcome. Tell your name and go ahead.
Good morning, ma'am. Myself, Sunitra.
Netra?
Sunitra, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, like in recent times, right now, due to COVID-19, the whole school system, college is now closed. So the whole curriculum, the whole teaching learning process is shifted to digital. So the change in society have affected the curriculum.
True. Very, what we are doing now, right now, what we are doing, we are responding to a change which has happened in the society where we have to stay away from each other. So we are adapting to a transaction, the curriculum transaction, which is, we are adjusting. It is a change because the society has changed. Suddenly we had to adapt to the changed society. You can think of many more, and as we go further, we will be seeing. See, so understanding this, so when we understand the sociological determinants, see how it is affecting the classroom. How technology is affecting. See, these are all the sociological factors. The religion, the environment, the economy, culture, politics, all these factors have a role in the classroom, school, neighborhood, state, nation, and what's missing here?
World.
International.
World.
Yes, because now, especially the 21st century, what we are looking at is a global citizenship. It is not enough if we are well versed with our social circumstances up to our nation. Rather, we should be well versed with the happening, the economy, the religion, the culture, the Western culture, everything. it is preparing the younger generation to be a productive, comfortable citizen to function at the international or the global level. So UNESCO has used a word, coined a new term as glocal, because we need to be having a strong root at our base. We should be local. And our Prime Minister also nowadays talks so much while talking of Atmanirbhar Bharat about, being local, utilizing, understanding the local resources, using that, having a firm footing in the local occasions, the conditions of the local area, and slowly move towards the global level. That is our focus today, and curriculum has to focus on these. Every aspect of up to international level we have to focus on. So how does this, the sociological perspectives will have the implication in the curriculum? Planning of curriculum. So the framework, curriculum framework will consider these sociological perspectives when they are making a framework, because the framework is for a common education system. It is at the national level. Curriculum framework is made so that there is a commonality. There is no discrimination between students or children growing up in one area to the other. Nobody is deprived of what has to be. The core curriculum components should be common. That is why we have a common national curriculum framework, and the context specific, the uniqueness of the state and the district and the local area will be, it's an adaptation or a change. The states will develop their own curriculum framework, and then based on that, the syllabus, textbook, and all other material. Textbook is, when I say material, you can include textbook also as one of the learning material. Everything will keep the sociological perspectives in the background when they are developed. The examples which are taken up to, in your planning of lesson, the learning resources which are used. The pedagogy and assessment also considers the sociological perspectives. How is it benefiting the individual? Are we considering the competency in the assessment? Is the pedagogy appropriate to the outside world? Are we bringing the knowledge which is existing in their personal lives into learning? So it is at the planning level. The sociological factors are determining the planning level of framework, syllabus, textbook, and materials. And in the classroom transaction also, lesson planning. You have done lots of lesson planning in your learning to function as teachers and pedagogy classes. You can link how you are bringing the social perspectives into the classroom through your lesson planning, because it has to come in planning itself. If you're talking about plant reproduction, are you not giving an in the textbook there may be an example which is given which may not be a local plant of your school, where your school is located. So we need to bring in the local specific examples, the social actions or the socio-cultural existence of our location into the lesson planning. The learning resources, we can think of resources which are existing in our near surrounding. Even if we are using a net-based resource, we can adapt it to suit our requirement, our very specific to the environment which we are in, the social environment. And teacher education curriculum also, which already I think somebody gave that linked, I think Stuti linked it. The teacher education curriculum is also considering the sociological determinants. That is why we have put the field engagement as part of teacher education curriculum. In fact, it is not just field engagement. If you look at your curriculum, I don't know, yeah, your batch got into the new after 2016 you came. Every content area which you're learning, the core area has certain activities which have to be performed, keeping the outside. If you can go through your content, I remember if you are studying childhood and growing up, it expects that you go to a school nearby, you see children right from the preschool stage, see their process of learning, and then slowly go to it. This is inbuilt in your, though you are theoretically learning the core areas in the classroom in the first year, second year, up to second year, it's more of theoretical for you, but all the content area requires that it is related to the outside world. When we learn, can you link school socialization identity you have learned as a theory paper? Could you not link so much of the socialization process into that theory component which you are learning? How the identity is formed in the school. Can you recall some of the concepts which you learned in SSI? You will know if I say SSI, you may not know school socialization and identity. Hello.
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, may I answer?
Name?
Stuti.
Anybody else? Wait, Stuti. If anybody else is there, let them say first. Arati? Pragati?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you?
Ma'am, can you repeat the question again, please?
Who will tell the question now? Pragati?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you say what was the question?
No, ma'am.
Stuti, you tell the question and we'll give them little time, let them think.
The question was, we had a paper, theory paper, SSI, School Socialization and Identity of a Teacher as a Professional. So ma'am asked how we can link it to the world, or how we can link it to the outside world. This was the question, ma'am.
Little modification I can make. I was telling what are those components you learned in that course, SSI course, what did you learn? Very direct.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Sagnika?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in this paper, schooling, socialization, and identification, this was basically related with whenever we are teaching a child, so it is required that he or she has to be, exposed to the world society, like schooling, social. He or she has to make by teaching the paper. In this paper, it was told that about how to socialize, how to create, how to build that socializing nature within that child.
Okay,
And
your audio is very poor, Sagnika.
Ma'am, is it audible, ma'am?
It's audible, but not very clear. You try. One more, any other you want to say, you can say.
Good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, Mona Lisa.
No, tell Mona Lisa.
Ma'am, in identity formation, we have different kind of identity. Means from childhood to teenage, then teenage to adulthood, we grow differently in different area. So there is a personal identity. Then how we deal with all other people, all the society. So in that case, the identity formation takes place. And socialization, ma'am, by gender or by caste or by different factor for profession, we interact differently with different kind of people. So our interaction with the society, our interaction with self, that develop our socialization.
Yes. So that paper.
Ma'am, can I say, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Ma'am, basically the objectives and the components of this course were like to reflect critically on the factors that shapes the identity formation.
Very good.
Influence that sense of self of that growing student, as well as not only student, ma'am, as well as the teacher in school, as well as in out of the school situation. It helps in critically awareing of self and identity and free, like oneself. It might be the teacher, it might be the students.
Yes.
Self-understanding.
And self-understanding happens in a social setup. I really thanks Agnika Mulanza. And who's the third person who said, I don't know, name? Anyway. Thank you. See how important is the social environment around us in forming the identity. As an individual, when we are growing, developing the identity, formation. So how sociological factors, the social inequalities existing in the society, the institutional hierarchies which are existing in the society, all that has a role in identity formation, and how teacher's identity formation is there, and how we can harness on the existing social situation, and we can help the youngsters to develop an identity which is they can really identify themselves and grow. It is other than going by the inequalities that is existing. That is what is a process. That is a process of education actually. In a social milieu, we have to keep the existing social circumstances, and because learning is such a social process. Though individual learning is there, it has its limitation. Learning is a social process. So in a social context, finding ourselves, our place in the society, and as a teacher also identifying ourselves and developing a professional identity as a teacher to function in the existing socio-cultural milieu. Thank you so much. So why do we need to change curriculum? I think this is very easy and self-guiding points which are here. The change of curriculum is to respond to the social aspiration, the political aspiration, the sustainable development goal. I think this I'll give as work for you. You think of how we have changed depending on the social aspiration, political as well as the sustainable global economy. As the global economy is changing, how the curriculum is changing, explosion of knowledge and technology, modernization and curriculum. You can note down these points and you think how we have changed as per the change of these social aspects. The curriculum, how the curriculum has changed. I think you all know this. In the 19th century, our society was based on agrarian economy. It's not only 19th century, little bit spilling over the 20th century also. And then we moved to the industrial society, 20th century and initial part of 19th century and the 20th century. And now we are in the information society. See, in order to suit the present generation to the present society, the curriculum moved from, say, agrarian society to industrial society to the information society. So what is the where are we moving now? Are we still in information society? The 20th century was of end of industrial society and information society. Now we are moving to 21st century. Is it information society or where are we now? Some of you have studied the 2020 NEP very well. You should be able to answer. What are the 21st century skills and where are we moving from information society? You go through the NEP again. Yeah.
Ma'am, towards artificial intelligence and vocational learning.
Okay, that is the 21st century skills cover those things. Yes, you are right. Vocational, because beginning to work, because we have got lost in the information society where the work culture is being neglected. 21st century skill is the vocational skill, right? And the digital literacy. But the society is what? From information society, we are moving to knowledge society. You can go through the NEP again. Okay, we are moving to knowledge society. It is not just information, knowledge society. In the through knowledge only we can develop our skills, and the 21st century skills are definitely related to work. Any work we should be able to respect, develop the skills of working and the skill of digital literacy, because we are in a digital society today. Technology, advancement of technology has made every one of us, I can't say now, maybe I have passed my half century of age, but I cannot say I can't take online class now. I have to learn. Oh, sorry. I don't know. There was 2 more slides, but the time is, this is the 21st century skill curriculum. See, the life and career skills is one of the 21st. Some of you, I think, I don't know who was the person who said the 2 skills. See, you said this is the vocational skill, learning and innovation skill. You agree? Hello, are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll just take another 2 minutes and conclude. See, the learning and innovation skills. It is not enough we learn something and stop there. That's what I was telling. I have to be abreast with the new technologies, new knowledge which is coming. So that innovation, we need to be creative and think how efficiently, with the precision, we can be using the technology.
Ma'am, your PPT is not visible.
Oh, okay. Just a minute. Maybe I stopped presenting suddenly because I was constantly thinking there is just 1-2 minutes. It's already time. I'm sorry. I'll take 2 minutes and complete. Okay. See, now I think it's visible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not visible to me. That is my problem. Okay. See, the innovation, you have to learn to innovate, learn to learn new things, core subjects and 21st century themes. I'm sorry. See, this is the core subject and theme is life and career skill, learning and innovation skill, information, media and technology skill. And these are the underneath supporting the learning environment to give all these things, the professional development, teachers who are ready to develop these and give that learning experience to students so that they develop these 21st century skills of based on the themes of core subjects in 21st century. They are able to help the younger generation learn. Environment has to be depending in order to give these things. The teacher development has to focus on this, the curriculum and instruction. So the change of curriculum, the curriculum and the process of giving the transaction of curriculum has to focus on developing these things, and assessment also has a role to play here in our where we assess the, how do we assess the competency? It is not knowledge assessment anymore. It is not rote learning assessment. It is what skill has been learned. How are you using the skill? That is where assessment also has a change. And some of the sociological issues, I think we can just take these two in the next class. There are just 2 slides more. I don't want to hurry. We'll conclude the sociological determinants, and the earlier slide, this, if you remember, you can come with your reflection. What changes, how the social aspiration has changed, that has affected the curriculum. Such things also you can prepare and come. Okay. Okay, I'll stop here. We can meet in the next class just to continue little more into this, and I want you also to think, read little bit and come so that you can talk more.